Okay, here we have a JVC TV. It's a 32-inch. The model number is a EM32TS, I believe. What happens is we plug it in and it's totally there. There's a little one-button toggle switch on the side, and we'll hit that, and we have absolutely nothing. No flash, no LED lights, indicator light on the bottom, nothing at all.
Chi-Town's finest.
And just to verify the model number of this TV, like I said, this is Echo Mary 32 Tango Sam 32-inch LED TV. And so let's begin to take the back cover off and begin our troubleshooting procedure. This TV is one of those TVs that uses the one single board for everything, with the power supply, main board, T-con board, and the only other separate board it may have is for the infrared detector and the indicator light at the bottom. But all we need to remove, I believe, is this cover in the middle. You don't need to move any outside screws on the outer bezel here. Okay, actually you don't need to remove these side pieces. Just sort of take the screws out of the middle piece. You know, after you take this TV stand off, and that comes right out. Okay. And as you can see, we'll actually zoom in. There's our one board. Okay. Everything is on there. So I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit closer for you. Okay. We've got our main microprocessor, our power supply. This is where our core goes in. So we've got our power supply over here on this side, our switching transformer. This is our plug here for our LEDs, I believe. I'm not mistaken, I think it is. Maybe so, maybe it's for the speakers. And let's see if there's another plug here. This, of course, is going to, this LDVS cable is going to down to our screen assembly. Okay. And I guess we got the speaker wires, which looks like this plug up here. And that's pretty much about it. Self-explanatory. Just a one board little piece of you know what, right? So where we'll begin our troubleshooting is we're actually, since it's a dead set, we actually want to go to the fuses. Get a little higher up here. Okay, we've got one here. That's our AC input fuse. Put our meter on continuity or ohms, it doesn't matter, dial scale. I like to hear the beep on mine, so put it on dial scale. If I go to ohms, I also have a beep function. Okay. As long as it beeps, it's good. Okay, cool. Now, just so you know, some of these TVs with this one board, it doesn't have a regular standard looking fuse. It has like a little box fuse, like almost like this, but much smaller. And so a lot of cases you have to actually unscrew the entire board and go to the bottom of it and check it. And I also see another screw, another fuse. It's actually right here, covered with some black, looks like some electrical tape, but it's shrink wrap, I guess. And that one is good. Okay. So now the way this TV is made, This is our main regulator, so we'll check for voltage here. And as you can see, just like on my other power supply videos, this board is separated. This is actually a hot ground here. This will provide the voltage to drive your transformer here. Okay, and then on the other side of the transformer, these are all your secondary voltages, you know, for your main microprocessor, your audio circuit, for your T-Con, you know, circuitry and all that kind of stuff, for your jacks, HDMI. But anyway, what we're going to do is actually ground our meter. And this is just how I do it, okay? On the negative side of the filter capacitor, which is right here, okay? And it's located in the primary, the primary side of the power supply. I'm just going to find the negative, the one with the line on it. It's right here, okay? That should be ground. I'm going to put my meter on DC volts, which is a V with a single line, okay? And I'm actually going to check and see how many voltage. Oops. Make sure that when you're doing this, because you're going to have to plug it up, make sure that your lead is not shorting against the positive side of the capacitor. Otherwise, you will see some smoke, damage your TV, and you might get a little shock, right? Okay, so got that off to the side. It's not touching anything. My meter has rubber on it, and I'm actually going to go to this transistor here. It's like the drain or the collector. It's probably using a MOSFET transistor, and we're going to see if we have any voltage. So I'm going to plug it in. Okay. And I'm going to go to this transistor here and see if we have any DC volts. As you can see, we have 193 volts. Let me zoom out so you can see that. I have 190 volts. Okay, so that's good. That's plenty of voltage for it to drive this transformer. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is check some of our secondary voltages. Okay. Now, this one's pretty much a straight shot. So actually, what I'm going to do is go right to. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and just check some of it. First of all, unplug the TV. Okay. Just for safety precautions, we're going to unplug it first and then take this off. And we're going to go to chassis ground, okay, which is any metal part on the TV frame. I'm going to go right here, okay, because now we're going to be in the cold ground section. I'm just going to go over there, leave the meter, same way, DC volts, and I'm going to plug the TV back in. I'm going to go to this FET right here. I guess it's a FET or a transistor. And I'm just going to start checking some voltages, okay. I'm going to plug it back in. Okay. Zoom out so you can see my meter here. I'm going to go to this metal tab right here. And as you can see, I have 18 volts. Okay. I just go to both sides. Got 3 volts there. A little pulsating, getting some type of drive signal, looks like. And the other pin, 3 volts, okay, and the pin in the middle is always connected to the metal tab. Okay, so we got a steady 18 or 19 volts drain voltage. And now, the next thing you want to do on these boards, if you have all that is good. Is most likely the case is you can change the whole board, which is pretty cheap. This board probably runs about 50 bucks maybe, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go to the E prime, okay? which is located. So this is how you figure out the location of your EEPROM on these sets. Look at the main microprocessor, okay, which is this big chip, okay, on all boards. Sometimes we'll have a big heatsink on top of it. And if you look close by the chip, you'll see another 8-legged chip, which is usually bigger than the rest of the 8-legged chips on the board, or wider, and it usually has a colored dot on it. That is your EEPROM. That is your electrical, erasable, programmable, read-only memory. EEPROM for short. Okay, and that's what holds the memories of all your, I guess, the settings and how the TV is supposed to be configured. Okay, so what I'm just going to do here is, a lot of cases, it's just the EEPROM. I would just go ahead and replace that first. It's only like 10 bucks, you know, and that includes any type of TV, whether it's one board set or just the main board, if the EEPROM is available and it's a dead set and you are getting voltage to the main board. I will just go here. I'm going to check the pins on here. Okay, this is your EEPROM here, and see if I can get close here. And I want to make sure as I have some voltage on the pins. Okay. Okay, I'm being very careful because I have my TV plugged in, I believe. Yes, I do. Okay. And okay, that point goes there, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there, 0.6 there, okay, it's almost a volt, 3.2 volts on that pin, okay, that's probably our VCC, and another 3.2. So if we are getting voltage, this is my thumb of rule, if we are getting voltage to the EEPROM and the TV is, if we're getting the 3.2 volts, I believe that is the VCC. If we're getting that, then that means go ahead and replace the EEPROM. If you're not getting any voltage on the EEPROM, most likely the voltage coming through the power supply isn't even getting that far, okay, to the main microprocessor. So you may have another problem, or just replace the whole board. But I'm going to go ahead and change it, and the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to find it. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do is look at the part number of that one board. I'm just going to turn it around so you can see it. And this is actually a Vizio part number. And as you just look on the sticker, and as you can see, that is a 36, 32, 24, 62-0150. You don't have to worry about the 4D. Just go online, go to eBay, put that part number in the search bar, and you should find the board and also the EEPROMs listed. Okay, and we'll go ahead and do that right now. Okay guys, I'm on my computer, and I'm just going to go ahead and put the part number in the Google search bar. I'm also going to copy and paste it in case I want to look on some other sites for this particular part or EEPROM, and I don't want to keep typing it in, so we'll just hit copy, and then after I do that, I just go to Google search, see what comes up. Okay, got one at Shop Jimmy. I'll click on that one. Okay, of course I don't have the board. They do have the EEPROM, and as you can see, JVC EM32T, only 15 bucks. Okay, let's go out of that. Let's go back. As you can see, the board looks like it's about $55. As a matter of fact, we'll just go to eBay. We'll Let's see, eBay. Here we go. There's eBay. You're probably going to find most of your listings on eBay. There's the whole board. Looks like that's our EEPROM. Is this the whole board? Is this the same board? Or yeah. And let's see if we can zoom in on that. It looks a little different. So I'll probably be kind of particular about getting this particular board here. That one is different. As a matter of fact, I think the part number is different also. Yeah, that's a different board. I'm sorry. Okay, we'll just put the part number in the search box. And as you can see, $15. Also forget this. It's going to actually tell you the location of the location number of the EEPROM. And as you can see, we got 5 results, so we got some boards to choose from. This looks like our board here. Okay. Yeah, because remember we have the transformer on there, the FET here, this here. So this looks more like our board. If you want to order the whole board, just make sure it looks like the same one that you have. Okay, I wouldn't trust anything different. And that's it. That's how you order the board or EEPROM. Just go to Google, and then just go to Shop Jimmy and also eBay. Okay, so quite naturally, I do have the EEPROM. As you can see, it has the model number of the TV and the board number on there, and we're going to go ahead and replace that. Okay, and there are a few ways that you can replace the EEPROM. You can use hot air. You can use hot air and just pull it off. You have to be careful about these little components around there. If you're going to use the hot air gun and go over it, you're going to have these little components around there. If you don't have hot air, I'm going to show you how to use a regular soldering iron, okay? And that's what I prefer, and it's pretty easy. Only thing I'm going to do is just put a little flux on both sides of the EEPROM, and I'm going to take my flux it's right here. Of course, I lost my little needle, but that's okay. I'm going to put some on both sides. Just a little dab, that's all it takes. And believe it or not, you really don't have to use flux if you don't have any, but this makes it a lot easier. And I'm going to show you, if I can get this on camera, just how easy it is. And I'm going to take some tweezers, and I'm going to actually put solder on my iron tip. Okay, and I'm going to put solder on both sides until it comes right off. Watch this. Just short all the pins together. And one step I want to mention before you remove this is make sure that you know where pin 1 is, and pin 1 is always by this little dot right here. Okay, so that's like the most important thing, and you can see there's a little 1 there. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not. There's a little 1 next to it, and let's see here, am I reading that right? Yeah, right here. And there's also a dot for pin 1 on the chip. Okay. Make sure that you don't remove any other components around there because everything is important and the TV will not work. Now what? Look at that. Slides right off, and that's it. Okay. Now, next we want to do is actually clean the pads. With some alcohol. Okay. Get the excess flux off of there. If you don't have any solder work, don't worry about this. It's really not that important. It makes it a little bit easier when you put in the new EEPROM back on there. And see, this wick I had was old. Well, it was handy, so I'm just using that. Okay, that is definitely good enough. Okay. Now, what I'm actually wanting to do is get my new EEPROM. Be careful, try not to touch it with your fingers, especially if you're standing on carpet. They say it may, you know, damage it or whatever, but I'm actually going to just pour it out onto the board. Okay. I'm going to line up pin 1, which should be the side with the dot on it. See that? A little bit closer. There's a dot right there in the corner. Okay. See that better? Right there, okay? And that's going to go where pin 1 was. Okay. I want to take my soldering iron, put a little solder on the tip. Now it's good when you're doing this to use a soldering iron with a much thinner tip, but I'm going to have to work with this right now because I can't find mine, and a lot of people don't have all those kind of tips. They just buy an iron just for this, and they don't have all the necessary tips for necessary different projects. You know what I'm saying? So we'll just do it like this. And I'm just gonna tack down 1 pin. Okay, where am I? Okay, I'm almost lost here. Okay, here we go. Hopefully you can see this on camera. Try to tack down 1 pin, and we definitely have to make sure that we do not short any other pins together. Make sure they're all doing that so it kind of stays together there, so it won't move when I'm tacking the other pins down. So I got the 1 pin down. Okay, everything seems to be okay so far, and I'm just going to do this. I'm going to put a little solder on my tip, just a little bit. I'm just going to try to make sure that each pin is kind of soldered to the pad there. I don't want to put too much solder on my iron because what's going to happen is going to short. It's going to short to the next trace, and a lot of times we'll just do it like that. There we go. There's another pin down, another one down. Or you can also use a heat gun and put it back on there and just put some solder paste on the pads, and just, you know, there's many ways that you can do it. get you down the end there. And then what you probably want to do is take a magnifying glass and just to make sure there are no shorts on any of the traces. And that's it. It's that easy. It's on there. Okay? And I'm just going to take a little alcohol and clean it up a little bit more. Clean the excess flux from around there. Okay guys, okay, we've got our EEPROM in, and this is our ultimate test. We're going to plug it in. Hit the power button on the side. And I do see backlights. And voila! We have a picture. Unfortunately, with this TV, it only has the one button, so you have to have the remote to reprogram it. Like I said, the EEPROM is almost like resetting the whole TV. You have to go through the setup and everything once you replace it. That's it, guys. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for subscribing. And make sure that you like the video. If you didn't like it, big dog out.